يعتبر بيبان 24 الملتقى الأبرز عالمياً في قطاع ريادة الأعمال، والمعني بتمكين البيئة الريادية في المملكة العربية السعودية لرواد الأعمال المحليين والدوليين، من خلال 9 أبواب تأتي تحت شعار وجهة عالمية للفرص. يساهم بيبان بخلق بيئة محفزة ورفع الكفاءات الإدارية والمالية والفنية وتحفيز أصحاب الأفكار على إطلاق مشاريعهم، والالتقاء بالخبرات المحلية والعالمية لتبادل الخبرات وإثراء المعلومات بين أصحاب القرار والمستثمرين ورواد الأعمال، لتعزيز القطاع وحث ثقافة الابتكار والدخول لعالم الأعمال. يقام ملتقى بيبان 24 بالمملكة بفضل المزايا الاقتصادية واللوجستية والتسهيلات التشريعية والبيئية الريادية القوية الداعمة للأفكار الاستثنائية محلياً وعالمياً، لتصبح المملكة العربية السعودية مركزاً نوعياً عالمياً يحتضن الفرص الاستثمارية والريادية. يجمع ملتقى بيبان 24 جميع الجهات الممكنة والداعمة من مختلف أنحاء العالم لتحفيزهم على تقديم خدماتهم المتخصصة في تعزيز نمو وازدهار قطاع المنشآت الصغيرة والمتوسطة وريادة الأعمال، كما يجمع مستثمرين وجهات تمويلية تحت سقف واحد لتسهيل الوصول إلى التمويل المناسب لأصحاب المنشآت الصغيرة والمتوسطة ومشاريع رواد الأعمال.
طب التقينا بأحد المنظمين لملتقى بيبان، المنظمين الفنيين لملتقى بيبان. أستاذ، حابة أتعرف على الأشياء اللي تسوونها في هذا الملتقى، بالذات في هذه الورش اللي عددها 21 ورشة.
يا مرحبا، حياكم الله. يعني احنا تبع منظمين تبع الخلال الفنية، إذا في مشاكل أو حاجة نحن ننظمها ونسويها، تبع الشاشة، تبع السيستمات، اللابتوبات، تبع 21 ورشة.
يطرح بيبان 24 ويناقش أفكاراً وموضوعات تتعلق بريادة الأعمال والتجارة الإلكترونية والامتياز التجاري والفرص الاستثمارية والشركات الناشئة والابتكار، كما يقدم ورش العمل والدورات وجلسات الاستشارات والإرشاد والبرامج المتخصصة لرفع كفاءة المنشآت وتعزيز فعالية أعمالها ومساهمتها في الناتج المحلي. كما شمل ملتقى بيبان 21 ورشة عمل استقطبت الكثير من المهتمين بمجال الأعمال. استضاف أكثر من 100 متحدث بارز ضمن مسرح بيبان توكس، وهذه مقتطفات من بعض الجلسات الحوارية في هذا الملتقى.
Retailers, F&Bs in their network, including global ones, Tim Hortons, Dunkin', Costa, all of those are actually becoming trendsetters for the rest. We are doing this, we're enabling this, we're reducing this, and they're relying on pickup. So basically there's, if you think of the carbon footprint, basically the people are on the way. They pick up on the nearest location where they want. So that's part of that cost reduction, obviously, there. And then there is obviously all the other aspects of like how they're doing good by enabling all of these stuff. So there is the environmental impact. And then you have also the impact on the consumers and the users. And that adds to the sustainability of the company over the long term. They have 1.5 million users so far actively, transaction with profitable unit economics today. So you might think good doesn't do money. It's actually one of the fast growing companies we have in the portfolio. And that changes the dynamics today. Maybe at the beginning you look at it, because investors are not normally drawn, if they're not specialized in impact and social, they look at the...
Yeah, and I think the challenge here is that I think with Pirate Bay and also Casal, we could start sharing files computer to computer. That opened up the perspective. We didn't have to have servers in Saudi, we didn't have to have Saudi servers in China or in Africa, because we're actually using the CPU power that you already have in your computer. So since Skype was a downloadable client, we said, sharing is caring. So when you're not using your CPU power, we just shove a lot of traffic through your computer at night, so you didn't have any cost on it.
Walk us back to the earlier days. Did you ever think that user adoption would get this far? I believe I was reading something along the lines of billions of people at one point in 2014, 20 million or something that calls a day or some crazy number like that. Did you ever think the user adoption would be that great?
No, I think it started with me, super honestly, we were in a small apartment in Stockholm and we were 5 guys. So we were starting enormously getting adoption because it didn't really work. You had to call someone to download the software, they could go for free. Everybody had Microsoft Net Meeting, which didn't work, so everybody had a bad experience with IT telephony. So we said we need to make it super simple to work. But I think the real breakthrough that we haven't really talked about is that we created this kind of marketing engine. So the people that had it was cool. We asked them, would you like to recommend the service? And if you click on that button, we actually went since Skype was a downloadable client, we went into your computer, we opened your Outlook, and then we have the software send a mail to all of your friends saying hi, and they started using Skype. And I think this is something we never told anyone. We just said, the product is totally viral. We just helped it, and then of course that was the spark, because then the product was really good. People said, "Oh, thank you for recommending it. It's amazing."
M&A is the only way to get into the market very quickly. But at the end of the day, the integration is going to be critical. So if you fail on that, which goes back to culture, then it's going to be very difficult to succeed. And as you know, a lot of M&A fails.
Can I mention something? Because
Please.
You mentioned Nestle, and I remembered something.
You worked at Nestle.
I did work in Nestle, and I remembered the story actually because I think we often think of innovation and corporate innovation as something that will have a very direct implication on people, like that this company is going to create something or acquire or create a new product or so. I remember back in Nestle, that was way back at the beginning of my career, they had a very interesting initiative, and actually that was an innovation. They wanted every single product, from the least palatable or yummy product, which is, for example, the baby milk, or similar to Cerelac, although Cerelac is yummy, we still eat it when we're older. But the baby food, which is not so yummy, all the way to Kit Kat, which is the most yummy. And they wanted to create a metrics where it's a 60-40 percentage. Each product, no matter what it is, baby food to Kit Kat, the taste should be 60% and 40% would be the health value, or vice versa. So Kit Kat would be less yummy than before, but a bit healthier, and the baby food would be a bit... So it's an amazing innovation, and this is a corporate innovation, by the way, because what this creates interest for investors, it creates interest for companies to buy, for doctors to buy these products more, for people to promote it. So that's a corporate innovation without us knowing it. And these innovations, usually, some of them happen through employees, and some of them happen by entrepreneurs who would come in and think of these problems. The most important element in corporate innovation is opening the data, having the data open for the entrepreneurs to come and innovate, and that's the most important.
I love that you mentioned that, and one of the questions came to mind while you were talking.
And so in the case of Google, it's quite unique because you probably know that Google gives all their employees, I think, a day a week, or I don't know how much time.
I think it's 20% of their
20% of the time. Yeah, it's a day a week. 20% of their time to actually brainstorm ideas and innovate. I was reading this morning on the way in here that one of the biggest use cases for using ChatGPT is brainstorming. So if you do a prompt in ChatGPT, let's brainstorm around these 10 things. It's amazing the stuff you get out of that. And so I don't want to say that internal innovation is not possible, but you have to have the right culture, and most companies don't. And so when you look at food companies today, if you're a very big food company, like for example, when Nestle bought Kit Kat, it would have taken them, at least a year or 2 years to create a new product and launch. Over 50% of M&A fails. So not all of M&A is good. And it all goes back to culture. So take an example, Alexa. You know what Alexa is, right? The Amazon Alexa. When Amazon bought Alexa, they didn't buy it and immediately merge it into their company. They allowed it to stay independent for a while because they knew the culture was different. And that's even Amazon. Imagine a very old-fashioned company. And so how you do M&A, how you integrate a company is critical. And so Amazon has a great experience in letting companies, and when they bought Ring, when they bought PillPack, every time they buy a company, they're very smart about the integration with the business. And so that's critical. Culture, it goes back to culture with respect to M&A. Now, of course, there are companies that innovate, and there are a lot of startups that
have a bank. They contact, they want someone in finance, they want a neighbor payment, they want Saudi national. And then what we do is we'll be able to filter with all the applicants we have. And we also target postgraduates. So even we're working with Hansa clinics. Now they wanted to also offer trainings and postgraduate opportunities, even jobs we might be posting. So even if you're not in university, if you graduate, you can still come on our platform for free. We don't charge you at all. And you can apply for an internship as seamless as it is.
So it's important to know that we actually make this process so much easier for you, and we get your acceptance rate much higher. Because as a company, they're going to prioritize you. Because they already know that you meet their requirements. While if you apply to them, like let's say through email or WhatsApp, they don't know out of the 1,000 or 100 of the bunch that you meet their requirements, so they might just ignore your email. But here, they already know that you meet their requirements, and they can tell if they want you or not within 2-3 minutes, because it's all in one page, all your information. And instead of you trying to figure out what do you want to fill out in your, let's say, application, we tell you what you need to fill out, so you don't waste your time. So it's very quick for you, 2-3 minutes you fill it out, and also for the businesses, 2-3 minutes they can tell if they want you or not.
Nice, you created the
وفي الختام أتمنى أن تكون تغطيتنا لملتقى بيبان، الملتقى الأبرز عالمياً في قطاع ريادة الأعمال، قد نال استحسانكم. من مركز الهتون الإعلامي، صباح الفهاد، الرياض.